So, after a short pause for bathing, we can continue. Here is this plant I don't know the English name of. Pumpkin number 1 and pumpkin number 2. It goes here up and higher and even higher until the very top. And if you go a little nearer, you can already see little pumpkin fruit. The rhubarb grew into a huge plant. Actually 2 huge plants, because there's a second one over there. And it's really gigantic. And this tiny plant here is my ugni, the pineapple guava. These flowers here you can find all around the garden. No idea what kind of flowers these are. Now, let's go into the jungle. Are you ready? Haha! Right at the beginning is a monster bush ground cherries. Right next to it are these funny hairy melon cucumbers. They're really soft and have this fur. The tomatoes are going all the way up onto the ceiling, and here in the middle of the roof we mounted some ventilators to give some airflow, and they are powered by this solar cell that hangs out there. That's this rectangle there. Yeah, so that we have some air ventilation in here for our jungle. The tomatoes here in the greenhouse are not only huge, they also have many fruits on them, but unfortunately they aren't ripe yet. Here are also growing very strange fruits. I think this here is a loofah cucumber. And very pretty cucumbers we have here in the greenhouse. This one, for example. I also like this cucumber here a lot. Or this one. The watermelon is also reaching the ceiling. But not everything looks so good. The sweet peppers down here have nearly been they had problems with the tomatoes overgrowing them, and they look really unhappy. But who knows, maybe they will recover. The eggplants on the right side of the greenhouse look quite healthy and big, but they're not blooming. The ones on the left side, on the other hand, look ill and stopped producing at all. The longer I stay here in the greenhouse, the more cucumbers I find. It's really time I harvest some of them. The herbs are growing nicely. We have them here right next to the house, so that we can harvest them whenever we need some, especially for grilling. We have thyme and sage, oregano, more sage, rosemary, parsley, even more sage, thyme. Yeah, that's very useful to come out here and just take whatever we need. The hanging pot with the wild cherries looks really nice, and the cherries are ripening now. We have yellow and red ones, and they taste really great. In front of our garden door, these beautiful flowers are growing. And just because I like it so much, we will have another look at the squash at the garden door. It's growing up here and up and all the way to the top. So pretty. Right next to our greenhouse, many calendula are growing. The kygor are growing especially great. Like in the previous years, I have 2 different varieties. This one here this one here. I'm especially happy this year about this here. That's Malotria scabra, and they grew up all the fence until the very top here, and they also have lots of little fruit on them. Let's have a look whether you can see this. There's a bigger one. There's a bigger one, but I fear it doesn't want to focus on it because there's so much in the background. But I picked a big one here. This is how the fruit look like, and they're very delicious. And the plants have lots of them on there. Another very prolific plant is this here. It's the white miniature cucumber, and it's actually my most favorite cucumber of all. If you go down here, I'll show you. Here's one of its many fruits, and it has a lot more, and I harvested a lot of them already. They're really sweet and good, and they're the best when they turn yellow. This bed here is our newest bed. We made it just yesterday. It's for our yacon plants. It's a little late. I hope the yacon will grow well now. We found this frame because it's you see it has this wooden frame around, and we filled it with material we already had and planted this yacon plants. I'll take a further nice look at it, and I hope they will grow tall. We filled it with material from around. Here was just earth, and we dug it out and filled it into this bed to have the yacon growing. Here you can see the whole fence that's there are growing cucumbers and caiguas on it, and here at the front we have 2 pots with physalis. I promised you a second look at my favorite cucumber plant here, and here we go. And just to show you how many fruit are on there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one's actually ripe because it turned yellow, and I will pick it right away. Where have we been? Doesn't matter. Here's another one, and here, and there, and here, and there are a lot more tiny ones growing here and there. So I think there are a good 15 or so fruit on there, at least, probably more. Getting all those tiny ones, we probably have around 20 fruits on this one, and there are more coming. And I already harvested a lot of them, and now I will pick this one here. Come on out. Oh, it's not yellow on the other side, so maybe I leave it to get yellow on the other side too, because the skin becomes sweet when it's yellow. So on this side it's still white, so I'll leave it another day to ripen. Here I've got hot cayenne peppers, and they already got peppers on them. Our Three Sisters bed looks beautifully, but unfortunately we have a big problem with ants, and I'll show you what they do. If you look down there, there's a pumpkin plant, and it's about to die. It's all lush, and that's because ants build a nest below its roots. We tried to eradicate them, but I fear the pumpkin plant will die anyway. Here's the other side of our Three Sisters bed, and we plant the four patches, and each patch has one cucumber, not cucumber, I mean pumpkin, of course, sorry. And this one here is the most beautiful, and as you can see, it's already getting a big pumpkin fruit on here. It looks really beautiful, and the plant is all healthy and nice. There's some corn here, so I hope the ants won't get onto this one. These here are potatoes, and the first ones are already ripe and can be harvested. And we have 2 rows of potatoes here, and they go until here. Funnily enough, within the lawn, 2 bushels of oregano emerged, and we already harvested some of it. It tastes great, it smells great, and it looks really nice. Some nice soul sent me oca tubers. Oca are a kind of sorrel, and they taste a little sour and have underground bulbs that can be eaten like potatoes. And the plants look like sorrel too. You can see it here. And they also taste a little sour. Very nice actually. Here are my sweet potato plants. I have 2 rows again. It's one of 2 patches where I grow sweet potatoes. They're very good. I've grown them in the past. I'm curious because this soil here is very different to the one I'm used to, and I wonder whether the plants will spread out a little bit more, because I can't know them as very compact plants. But who knows, maybe in this soil they will spread a little farther. But so far I've always had very good sweet potato harvests. Here's a little spot where I planted leftover plants that I couldn't throw away when I picked out the plants from the pots. So I put the remaining plants all into 6 glasses and just put them in the soil here. So if they grow, they grow, and if not, well, then it's also not so, nothing happened. But they have a second chance here. Now we're at the second slug fence vegetable patch, and as you can see, here are sweet potatoes again. It's the second sweet potato patch. Here's a mixture of zucchini and other squash. Some more tomatoes, for example, funnily striped ones, or orange ones, for example, and also big slicing tomatoes. Here's a bed with various nightshade plants, sweet peppers, for example, but also delicious ground cherries, yellow tomato and tomatillo, eggplants and physalis, and also a lychee tomato. The patch right in the corner is filled with sugar melons and watermelons. The dahlias are also growing nicely. Here are 3, and here are another 2. This is how the whole slug fence bed looks like. So I harvested some cucumbers, and with this beautiful harvest picture I say goodbye and see you soon. Bye bye.